The Money Monday on Liquid Lunch, and not only we talk about money, but we bring on the money guests. So this segment right here is going to be everything you ever hoped for and more. But on the money front, to begin with, the money in your pocket is Dow up nicely, about 700. It was as high as 800. I'd like to see it pierce through 1,000 at some point today. It would be a really positive sign. And for those of you who don't know this, about 90% of all trading that goes on in U.S. markets is electronic trading, so there's not really a lot of humans out there. And when you hit like big, like triple-digit gains in a day, that tricks the computers into thinking, ooh, this could be good or this could be bad. But from where we're coming from, I think it would be a good sign for the computers to see us break into a new number. So we'll keep our eye on that. Bitcoin up a couple of hundred, that's good and everything. But when I said we bring on the money guest, I was not kidding you. Because Vera Gibbons is here with us, and she's always on the money. She's the founder and editor of nonpoliticalnews.com. Vera, thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm feeling a little wealthier today.
You are? You feel better?
I feel better. I feel better.
Oh, your portfolio. You feel
right.
better.
I mean, what a bloodbath last week. So it's nice to see we're back in the green today after losing a couple trillion last week. The markets.
I mean, look, we gave up a lot of the gains we had from 2019, but we also just, scooped up like 25% of them in the last 3-4 hours here. So
yeah. So let's hope we can
There's
continue.
a lot of volatility right here with this Corona stuff, right? Because number one, the predicate problem is we're dealing with China. And China is known for being one of the biggest lying countries on earth. They never want to give you a straight story on what's happening, right? I was surprised they said 1,000 people died because they don't care about 1,000 people.
Right.
You know
well,
what I
that's
mean?
the political side that I don't cover at Non-Political News.
No. I'm saying from my side, like China, if their people uprise, they run over 1,000 people in the street with tanks. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know why all of a sudden they wanted the whole world to start knowing that they had this supply chain problem. But what, in your mind, where are we right now with it? From consumer spending, we'll get into, how consumers are doing in a minute. But where are we right now?
I think there's still quite a bit of fear in the air. I mean, it's nice to see the green today after last week's massive sell-off, the worst, since the financial crisis of 2008. So it was definitely scary for a lot of people. And I think that the fear will continue to be in the air until there's some sort of talk about a vaccine or we move closer in that direction. There are so many unknowns right now. 88 cases in the States, and now we have 2 deaths. I think before it was people were thinking, oh, it's in Italy, it's in Iran, it's not here. The problem now is that it is here. So, and even though there's only been a couple of cases and a couple of deaths, the thing is it is here. And when you see that, you get nervous and you stop spending. Or you go out and buy supplies, you get Lysol wipes.
Lysol dual action wipes, these things, I swear by them. I tell you, and it says right on there. I don't know if you think I'm kidding, Vera, but look, it says human coronavirus.
There you go.
It fights the human coronavirus.
Right, I'm going to take those on a plane with me tomorrow. So
you're not taking mine because I got.
See what I mean?
You know how many people sit at this desk during the week? I got to wipe this.
You should wipe the seats down too. So I'm going to use
that
that tomorrow for my seat, for my tray on the plane, for the seat belt. So this is what people are doing. And
what about,
actually, like CVS and Walgreens say they're like selling out of those types of disinfectants.
The poor old Joe Main Street consumer? How are they holding up right now?
Still pretty good.
Supply chains are down, right? So are costs going to start propping up here?
Well, the thing is, with confidence, it's still up there. It's still at those levels that we like to see. Now, last week when we had the sell-off, I think confidence took a little bit of a hit. And it could, things could get worse. And if they do, then we'll see more people staying in and not going to the movies and not going to bars and not going to restaurants. Like your last guest was saying, they're going to stay in and watch Netflix, staycations.
Watch
staycations
Netflix.
Will be big. Those are the stocks that did well last week, like the Pelotons and the Zooms and the telemedicine type companies. So if we get to the point where people feel even more nervous, I think you really got to get this under control, because if we get more nervous, then we will cut our spending. And the worst case scenario, of course, if that happens, is that we will fall into a recession. Now, very few economists actually expect that scenario. They're thinking this is going to be more of a short-term type of problem, and we will have some sort of resolution hopefully soon. Obviously, the market knows something that we don't. If it's
How
ahead
will
of the game,
Corona, because one of my remedies, this may be, they call it the placebo effect. But one of my remedies is at least one Corona beer per day. Drink one Corona beer. You know, like sometimes with the flu, you got to fight it with itself.
Right,
You know what I mean? So
Are you
one
spreading-
Corona beer.
Is that fake news?
And one Lysol dual action wipe. I wash my hands, my face. I take my makeup off with it and everything.
It's funny, funny you mentioned Corona because they are saying sales are fine and they're, stronger than ever. But it does come at a bad time for them because they're launching this like new beverage now, and they spent like $40 million on the campaign. So it's definitely not good for them, and there is some confusion about that, but they say sales are still strong. And they're not as reliant on things internationally as some of these other competitors are.
I saw a very clever meme. I don't know if you know, I know you're the non-political news, but Mike Bloomberg is spending upwards of $1 million to have these millennial companies create cool memes for him.
Yeah.
So I like this whole memosphere, But there was a pretty cool meme. It said, it looked like a dating app, and it said, man with coronavirus seeking woman with Lyme disease.
Oh, no.
Corona, the Lyme.
No,
Corona,
no,
Lyme.
that's, oh my goodness.
No,
That's
but
creative.
Corona's
anyway.
not really getting hurt by this, right?
No, they're not getting hurt by it. Who's getting hurt by it? A lot of the other stocks, a lot of the other industries altogether. I mean, they could look at the travel and tourism industry, and that's the thing. If it gets worse, people won't go anywhere, and we need people
And
to
the
travel.
airlines
And
start getting hurt,
airlines
and then
and
they're
the
buying less
healthcare
gas.
stocks get hit. And
so, yeah, it
so
could
there
have
are
this.
it could. There are these huge ramifications. What we need is a vaccination, and soon, or some sort of solution, or some sort of miracle cure of some sort. Otherwise, we're going to continue on this trajectory where it's going to be,
You know what's so
volatility.
strange, and I actually want to put this out there in case, I've been told from time to time President Trump is watching Liquid Lunch, and he watches Newsmax all the time. But what people don't understand is there is no economic incentive for U.S. pharmaceutical and biotech companies to actually find a vaccine or a cure for this, because it's going to be so in demand, and they can't overcharge. They're going to sell it for basically cost, right? It's like a humanitarian effort. So there's no real monetary upwind for them from finding it, right? What do you think about the president coming out? And I want the president, or maybe somebody in his administration, to think about, put up like a $5 billion bounty to the company, like a contest. You know what I'm saying? Find the corona cure. We know you're not going to make any money selling it because we're going to need it as fast as you can get it. But the government will give you $5 billion.
Wow.
I think that would put the brightest minds in the country to work to try to find something.
Aren't they
quick.
already at work, hopefully?
You would hope, but I'm saying the big management
Yeah.
teams at the pharma companies and the biotech are like, all right, well, let's put everybody on it. And we've only had 2 people die. So it's not like a big incentive to, we may sell millions of these. We only had 2
The problem
deaths.
with the 2 people is they don't know how they got it. And
Right.
that's the problem. I think if they knew it was coming from such and such a source, they don't, it's a communal thing. So wash your hands, people. 20 seconds, a nice lather. Sing a couple songs if you're washing them.
Well, Dr. Huber says you got to do the alphabet in your head twice.
Or sing happy birthday twice or something. I would also
suggest
suggest avoiding handshakes. That is something that President Trump does do.
I'm doing
handshakes.
fist bumps for flu season.
There you go.
There you go.
There
Thank
you go.
you. Vera Gibbons, you're the best. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
She knows what's going on in all things, and she's always the best when she comes on here, especially on Money Mondays. We're going to take a quick break. Jordan Gelber's going to be here next, CEO and founder of Star Baby.